Gentlemen, how we doing? Just gonna do this one quick on my phone. Just want to show you this real quick. So, one really good thing that, and we're gonna talk about like what you're gonna change and how that works, kind of the lower half, and you can see your arm, and we'll talk about the glove a little bit. Overall, man, like move really well. You have a really good idea of what you're trying to do, and you have a really live arm, and the really important things are that it's like being able to move, being able to unload energy and throw the ball, and have good direction and all that stuff. So all the other stuff that we're kind of working on, like they are like relatively major changes. Like they change a lot of good things like that we want to be doing and more energy we want to be gaining and stuff like that. But like as far as conceptually, like just the understanding of how to throw is like you really understand this. Like you have a great foundation of what you're trying to do. So as we're going through this, like it's not. I don't want you thinking like it's too like overthinking it or trying to get dejected or anything like that. Like you're at a perfect age to make these changes, and you have a really good idea of what you're trying to do already. So, and based on the drills that we did, like you can control your body really well, which is shown here too. So first off, like great job with your front leg, like the way that lands, and just captures this energy, and you have like a little bit of flexion in your knee. This is going to change a little bit as we talk about your back leg. I'm going to try and make this really brief. But great job with your front leg. Great job with just like how you rotate your hips, or how you try to at least, and then how you rotate your shoulders, how you finish your throw. These are all things that are really, really good. Your front glove, how you finish with your front glove, really great job. So that has a lot to do with accuracy, how the front glove kind of stays closed, front shoulder, and then also how it finishes the throw, helps it finish the throw. So really good job with that. So we're going to take you through this one. This is the easiest one that you can see, kind of what we're going to be changing. So in the lower half, one thing you want to make sure, we're going to kind of change your concept of your push to a push in a direction. So we're going to try and push that knee kind of down towards our foot over here, our landing foot, instead of like pushing into the hips and making your pelvis tilt. So you can see now your belt line. It's good to be tilted down. Like you want to be able to rotate down. I'm going to show you another kid in a second. But if you push your pelvis, it tilts your body. So like watch this kind of like warp that you get. So like into landing, you're already kind of leaning forward, and then it drags your arm around. So instead of staying stacked, which I'm going to show you this kid in a second, there's that push. It kind of throws your belly button and everything, makes this like bow kind of look, which is not bad. We just don't want it as linear, like towards our target at this point in the delivery. Like there has to be segmentation, and there has to be time for the hip to rotate, the pelvis rotate, and the spine like has to get engaged next, but not at the same time. So you don't want to push everything in the trunk as you push in your legs. You want to allow the legs to rotate, hips rotate, and then the spine to capture this energy a little bit smoother. As you get your arm ready to throw, like as you do these drills, this is going to feel really obvious to you. You're going to get on the mound and you're going to feel like you're really opening up when you make that transition. Like when we finally like go back to the mound, unless you have like really good understanding of what you're trying to do now. But when you go from the drills that we did to this back on the mound, it feels like you can feel this part of it, like dragging everything through and like really leaning down early and like trying to pull everything out early, as opposed to like staying close. So now I'm going to show you a kid. So we'll use a few different examples. I wasn't planning on using this one. It's kind of going through my phone, trying to show you kids your age or close to it. So this is Peyton. He's 16. So you can see the same posture in the back leg. We're close to it. We'll go in slow motion. So the most important thing here that you're going to see is like watch as his knee rotates, as hip rotates, and watch his trunk. So right here, he's gone into rotation. So his hips are starting to clear and open up, and his trunk can stay neutral. So from this position, he can rotate his shoulders and throw with his trunk. Allow his shoulders to rotate and allow all that energy to then come through the hand. So you can see that order. So if you watch like from his knee to his hip, up his body, into his shoulders, out through his arm. Knee, hip, up the half, through. So we're trying to get that kinetic chain, it's called. and segmentation throughout the whole body, similar to a whip. As we do that, so we'll take you through another guy here in a second. Here's Peyton just throwing. All right, so I like to use guys that are smaller, because the smaller you are, the better you have to be at what you're doing. It doesn't mean that mechanics are always the same. Like if you go to be like 6'5" or something like that, like you're not going to be able to move like a guy who's 5'8", like Marcus Showman is here. But how he throws hard has to be precise. Like if you're 6'4", you can get away with a few imperfections. We see that all the time. Or like really strong arm. It's very easy to get better disconnection between the hip and shoulder, or connection, but like, you know, separation between the hip and shoulder, which is what we want. So if you watch Marcus Showman, it's a very similar position here, especially in the back leg. We're going to address that sometime soon, but not right now if you don't have a problem. So like if we work on the back leg and how you finish it, and you still can't do what we're asking, then yes, we will address the back leg a little bit more. But I really try not to complicate that part of it until you're like 14 or 15, until you hit that growth spurt, just because it's so hard to do this in the back leg. So anyway, he goes into rotation, and you can see like how neutral his trunk is, where his arm is it landing, where his front side is, how close off he is. And then from here, he can just rotate. And then ball out and see that glove side you have, and great front leg that you have. Stabilize and go. You'll see from the side. Rotation, neutral, and then everything gets pulled. So it's very small adjustment. And then we'll keep talking about the arm. Just that's what's making you fly open. That's what's making you throw in the right-handed hitter's box like so consistently. Is that when that trunk, I'll take you back to you. So when that trunk is leaning, or you're opening your front side, it does a lot of different things. I'm not going to try to overcomplicate it, but you're pretty much throwing that direction that you're pulling everything. And you're like yanking that arm around. So you see how like disconnected you are here. Like we want to be at 90 degrees. So you want to be here, but like when your body is here and throw from that position with your arm up, closed off, you've landed. Now you can anchor down on that front foot and really rotate like your trunk. Instead you're here, yanking everything around. And that's why your arm hurts. It's pretty easy to see, pretty common problem. Anyway, so I hope that explains it. Honestly, for you, it's like, how do I fix it? Just in the meantime, just keep working on all those drills. Make sure your shoulders close when you land, and you're throwing, you know, with your shoulders like this when you land, with your arm up and ready to go, letting it get energy. We don't stop the arm motion, so nice and smooth up and let it fire. And you can mess with, like, you can go a little bit faster up, just as long as you get the arm up and play with how it feels. Like still, you know, you still may feel like you're pulling your elbow back. It's good to get a scapula and all that stuff, so it's not just like up, you know, it's pulled back and up. Just making sure you're close over and over and over and over and over again. And the next time I see you, we'll continue to work on that, because it's, you know, like if it was up to me, that'd be part of your throwing program every single time that you throw. So it's like every single time we're doing figure 8 drills and lasso drill and all that stuff, and then you throw, you know, then you throw a baseball after that. And just constantly rehearsing that. And then we'll work on how the energy is transferring on your drive leg, and how that's working into your hips and all that stuff. And really pumped, man. Like, throw it really well. We're just going to fix these things and get better timing and better energy. And you can think of the throwing motion or pitching motion as like, you know, you're trying to like toothpaste energy like through your hand. So like you can imagine if you poke holes through a you know, tube of toothpaste, how it leaks out. That's kind of what happens to our pitch and delivery. And then you don't get as much through the top of the tube. All right. I'll see you guys later.